What's up guys, this is AZ Wallbreaker here and you are watching Wallbreakers, here to inspire you to be epic, be legendary. Today I am going to talk about 5 reasons why you should visit both Australia and New Zealand. Before I get into that, please hit like, subscribe, and share my stories. If you're new, welcome, and if you're an old viewer, welcome back. Glad to have you. Location. For many of us, flying from Australia to New Zealand is a daunting task. The only way that many people can get to those countries are through either by boat or by flying. For many of us, it is through flying. If you're like me who live in the eastern part of the United States, flying to New Zealand or Australia is a marathon. You are going to look to have to fly for about 22 hours. I would say at least a full day of traveling. That's a long time. So why not visit both countries and save you the hassle of having to return to the countries? Because the last question is, are we going to ever return? And for many of us, the answer is no. Both countries are very similar in nature. Both are westernized, both speak English, and they both tend to be easygoing. But the thing that separates them are the indigenous people of each respective countries. In New Zealand, you have the Maori tribe who landed there millions of years ago, and for Australia, it's the Aborigines who inherited the land long before the British settlers came millions of years ago. Now, the thing that makes it very important to want to learn about them is the history, how they were treated when colonization came to each country. Also, how they survived throughout the land. It's very interesting when you learn about these cultures that you don't hear so much, that it makes you respect the world in a different sense. Also, you find out how much those indigenous people mean so much to each country. As the Maoris, their culture is very infused. In fact, when you go to New Zealand, you can find many television stations that will have the Maori channel showing them or showing people who are interested to learn the Maori language, Maori culture. In Australia, there are tons of museums on the Aborigines, how they became as such, and how many were there throughout Australia, which there were a lot. And it's very important that you should check out both countries so you get to experience both indigenous people, their history, the cultures. Nature. Both countries have very beautiful lands and waterways. For instance, in New Zealand, you have the Milford Sound, you have the fjords, you have tons of beautiful lands and maps. There is a reason why Lord of the Rings filmed in that country. Not to be left behind, Australia also has its awesome thing of beauty. And from the Blue Mountains to the Great Barrier Reef. They're so beautiful, they're so gorgeous, that if you just go to one or the other, you're probably going to be missing out, because as I said earlier before, how often are many of you going to return to that section of the world? For many of us, it's not that likely that we would return to that country. Flights. Now, I'm not talking about the law of flight from wherever you're from, like for me, from the United States to Australia or New Zealand. I'm talking about the flight between both countries. You can see on my map on here, this is New Zealand right down here, and where I am pointing at, this is Queenstown, New Zealand, right there. And when you see me move my finger up to Sydney, it's right there. That flight was about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Countries are so close together, you might as well take this opportunity to check out both countries and explore each one. Now, I'm not saying that you should go all over these countries. That's impossible, as New Zealand will take you at least 2 weeks to check out, and Australia is about the same size of the United States without Alaska, so you're not going to be able to check it. But you can check out a few cities here and there and get to experience both cultures and get to see the wide range of diversity of each countries. Possibility of returning. Now, I've been kind of stressing, like, what are the chances of you returning? Which, for many of you, it's not likely that you would return to that part of the world. But for some of us who really love either or countries, at least you get to experience what it's like to go there. You have a better understanding of how the cities work and where they're located. You get a better understanding of the cultures, and when you come back, if you choose to go back after your first trip, now you know maybe you didn't like one or the other countries. Maybe you didn't like New Zealand for some reason. Maybe you didn't like Australia for whatever reason. Maybe you like one over the other. Whatever you choose or how you feel about each country, you need to use that experience to allow you to make a decision of, okay, how can I plan this better? Because now you don't have to waste too much time on focusing on both countries, because you've already experienced it. You already know what to expect. So now you can plan out better for your trip. Also, when you go to those countries, you get a better sense of, okay, now I've done the cities, now I can do something else. You don't have to focus on cities like Sydney or Auckland because you've checked those out. Maybe you want to check out a new city. Maybe you want to check out a city that's not really popular. Port Douglas in Australia, a wonderful city that doesn't get much attention compared to Cairns because it's where they're at and very much different. Going to both countries allows you to get a better understanding of, okay, I know which country I want to focus on, and you'll have a better time now that you know what to expect and what to see and what you want to do next. Those are my top 5 reasons of why you should see Australia and New Zealand at the same time. So tell me what you think. Do you think that you should see both countries? Would you be interested in seeing both countries on one trip? Please post below, comment below. And like I said, if you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, share my videos. Also, I'm down on the links below, which will be posted on the descriptions. So I'll be seeing you later, and remember,